Roblox Murdurr has a bunch of skins that are really unique, but some are questionable or some are really cool. And there's a going on issue about the game that there aren't really that many skins. I mean, yeah, there are a bunch of skins in the game, but if we're technically speaking, then there's not really much skins to get or obtain in the game. And because of that, I have decided to make this video so I could show 5 concept skins that I feel like would be very cool and fun to obtain in the game. Oh, and by the way, I'm not a Roblox modeler or a dev for the game, I'm just an artist, and most of my depictions or my concepts will be drawn, not really in a 3D model in Roblox. And I'll also be explaining some origin stories of some skins, or if not, then they're just like some lazy skin I decide to put since there isn't really much lore in the Murdurr universe or like the game itself. But anyways, now that we're finished, let's get on to the first concept of Murdurr. So our first concept skin for Murdurr is a pretty self-explanatory one, but it should get the job done. So our first concept skin is the girl skin, in which costs 700 Murdurrs, and her description says that she's very pretty because she is a girl. There's gonna be at some point where there's just gonna have to be a female skin in the game, because some male characters have some female counterparts, and I feel like this kind of fills in that gap. So where there's like one female skin instead of just all being male skin. I'm not sure if all Murdurr skins are or they have a gender or not, but I feel like having the girl skin would be really refreshing into the game, and will feel pretty nice actually. And not to mention, most other horror games have some sort of female counterpart or male counterpart in them. And I'll also show you a little bit of her chase theme that I kind of made up right now for the skin. So here it is. And yeah, I think that's it. So the first concept, I really think we need a girl skin, just my personal opinion. So I think this is a really basic and bland concept, but I feel like it would really fit the game right now. But anyways, now we're gonna move on to concept number 2. Now our second concept of Murdurr is the icy skin, which costs over 1,900 Murdurrs, and its description says it's chilly today, but a bit too chilly. This skin wasn't really that hard to thought of or put out because it's kind of bland, more that you think about it, but it has some really cool cosmetics and some really cool chase theme that I really like to share. Like, for example, it would have this really cool snowy particle effect going around it or shooting out of the body of the skin. And there will be fog to add a little more detail to the blue frosted particle effect in the skin. And I'll also show a little bit of the chase theme of the skin, and here it is. And yeah, so that's the chase theme, and this skin actually has some more that I decided to add, so I'll explain it just now. So Murdurr used to be normal, until one day he would go outside a lot, but it wasn't really normal like a normal weather, but instead it was really cold, and the snow. And he wasn't really used to the snow, so he got frostbite. And later, Murdurr couldn't find shelter in the very foggy mist of the snow. So he decided to just stay out there trying to find a way, or trying to find shelter in a way, but that failed, and now he's frozen, but he can still move and breathe. And I would say that this event happened in the Sky Resort map, because that's the only snowy map in the game that Murdurr would canonically be in. I would also like to mention that Murdurr during this event would continuously be freezing, and that's shown in this gif right here, or this short little animation I just made. But overall, I feel like this would be a really great skin to add to the game, since it would be another nice, really expensive looking skin, and I really enjoyed making this concept, to be honest. But anyways, we are going to move on to the third concept, and I also like to warn you guys that we are now entering the more expensive and scarier concept skins that I created. So just a warning that some of these backstories could be really disturbing, and the following lore will contain disturbing or not comforting depictions of Murdurr, basically. And I would really like to have a warning just for those viewers that are sensitive, so I feel like you just need a warning. That's it. Now our third concept skin, which is called Trauma, in which who causes 3,000 tenders, and the description says something happened and it wasn't good. This is also the most expensive skin or concept skin in the video, and I really enjoyed making this type of concept skin for the game. Simply just for the fact because his eyes just look really off-putting and really creepy looking. And a real fun fact is that this concept skin was actually inspired from this emoji of Murdurr, or this like GIF or meme of Murdurr that I found recently. And I felt like this would be a really creepy but oddly cute looking skin. But now I'm just gonna show the chase theme since I was really proud of making it actually. And yeah, so I was really proud of making this chase theme, or just the theme in general. And now I'll be explaining the short little origin story of this skin. So, just as the description said that something bad happened and it wasn't good. Meaning that there was something that happened to Murdurr before he got traumatized basically. And he used to be normal, but now he's turned gray and emotionalist. No one knows what happened to Murdurr after this incident. Some think or theorize that he's suffering from mental illness, but that doesn't seem to be the case. And now he's just left traumatized for the rest of his life basically, until, or no one knows when things will get better for him. And now he's left traumatized from this event, well, permanently now. Well, no one knows when things will get better, as I just said, but he's just left traumatized for now. But anyways, this is a really good concept to make, and to be honest, it was a really simple one since I already thought out of this idea a really long time ago. But now let's move on to the fourth concept of Murdurr. Now our fourth concept skin, which is personally my favorite, which is Door, that costs over 2,903 Murdurrs, and which is also limited, which is pretty cool. And the description says that I'm the real Murdurr, I am real, with the smiley face at the end. So this skin shows what if Murdurr was hyper-realistically, and how creepy would he actually get. And short little fun fact is that this was my actual first depiction of when I saw Murdurr for the first time actually, and my first actual drawing of him. Also, when the skin is chewing a player's limbs, it would actually show a cool animation of its mouth opening when it's consuming the limbs of a player. And I feel like that's something unique that none of the skins in Murdurr actually have in common, besides the Bobby skin, which can actually blink, which is also a unique feature. But other than that, I will now show the chase theme of this skin, which is actually my proudest one as well. And so yeah, that was the chase theme. I was really proud of it, as I just said, but now I will explain the lore behind the skin, which is also the longest one, and also slight warning again, because this will not depict Murdurr in a really nice way. Murdurr always wondered why there were so many versions of him. He always wondered why they were all near him. They always wondered why he was even there. He thought to himself that maybe he was just a clone. or maybe he wasn't real enough. From then on, Murdurr always thought that he was a clone, or if he was even real. Sometimes he would fixate and think he was, but in reality, he just still thinks he isn't real. Days later, Murdurr constantly has mental crisis, thinking if he's real or not. More days pass and Murdurr starts isolating himself from other versions of himself. It never helped him at all, and it only really just made his voices inside of his head go crazy and crazy, which led to him going more insane. Murdurr harms himself in the process, thinking or he wants to prove that if he's fake or not. But this just leads to him becoming unrecognizable from the other Murdurrs of himself. He kept going crazier, and crazier until one day, all hell broke loose, and Murdurr started killing the other versions of himself. Murdurr even ate the remains of the versions of himself, turning him into a cannibal. And after that bloody massacre, he was never to be seen ever again. And he claims to himself that he's the real Murdurr, but in reality he was really just a serial killer that went insane, and he never got to know if he was real or not. So that's it of the origin story of Murdurr. To be honest, this was really my favorite concept, really. I really enjoyed making the chase theme, the design, and I even enjoyed making the lore of it. It was really cool. But now let's move on to the fifth and final concept of the video. The final concept skin for Murdurr is called Evil, in which he causes 2,666 Murdurrs, and it is also limited, and the description says that it has had enough. This concept has one of the most unique designs in the entire video, only due to the fact because it has a devilish type tail, and it has 6 spikes coming out of its head. Another unique thing that it has is that it has 5 eyes, and it has glowing red teeth. So a thing I would like to point out is that in the design, I decided to add that there would be red fire coming out of the top of its head. It would be the exact same particle effect that the skin Bobby has, but just red. But it's nothing that special, but I feel like that would be something cool to add to the skin to make it more unique. Secondly, I'm now gonna showcase the chase theme for the evil skin, currently right now. So yeah, that was the chase team, and now for the lore, I have decided to make something special. What is it, you may ask? Well, it's a short little animation about the skin. This will show most of the lore behind the skin and some of its origins, but not completely. So after the animation, I will explain it more in depth. Oh yeah, before the animation starts, I would like to do a sound warning or a volume warning because some parts in the animation might be a bit too loud, so I highly recommend turning down your volume. So yeah, and enjoy the animation.
Where is Murdurr? Oh, there you are, Murdurr. Is something okay with you? There's something new with you, I think. Are you okay? You're not speaking to me. Well, since you can't speak, can you, stop looking at me like that? I'm starting to get uncomfortable. No, like, seriously, stop. Like, stop looking at me like that. Hello?
So yeah, that was the short little animation. Now here's a short little summary of the whole animation. So Tony, which is a murder skin in the game, he wants to know where Murdurr is, but then eventually he finds him, but not in the way that he thought. Because turns out Murdurr actually looks weird, and he doesn't look normal. Therefore, Tony questions him why he looks like that, and yet he gets no response because he's not talking. But then Murdurr starts moving weirdly, and he starts moving like an egg is cracking open. Later, Murdurr bursts out open with blood, revealing the creature inside of him, which is evil. It shows evil coming out of Murdurr, and Murdurr's just a corpse now. No one knows what happened to Tony after that, but some say that he died during that tragedy. Because, well, I mean, there's a huge monster, there's no way you're not gonna survive that. But anyways, that was the end of the lore and the origin of the concept skin called Evil. Oh yeah, and by the way, this entire concept was not from me. Instead, it was from another animator that actually really liked his design. And I'll show you guys the inspiration right now. I'll credit him in the video, don't worry. And I'll also turn on the volume just so I don't get a copyright strike. So enjoy. So yeah, credit to that guy. Make sure to go follow him and show him some love. If it weren't for him, then I would have probably never made this concept, to be honest. Because he's the reason why I made this concept. So I'll shout out to him and please go show him some love. But anyways, this is now my conclusion of my 5 concept skins that I think would be added in Murdurr, or I think I'll be cool to be added in Murdurr. And I just had a really fun time just making these concepts, to be honest, and imagining how they would look in-game. I really do want to make more concepts of Murdurr, but the only way for that to happen is that if you guys can please like and subscribe to my channel. It would really help a lot for my channel so I can make more of these videos for you guys, and it would be a lot more fun for me and you guys. And who knows, maybe I'll make more Roblox Murdurr related videos in the future. But other than that, have an amazing rest of your day, my good people. Bye bye!